All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the SoulCast, where we bring you the big names, and hopefully later down the road we'll give you some character stuff as well. This is the last episode before Evo, the big day, the big event. We It's actually literally less than a week away, so I know everyone's hyped for that. I do have to give a little bit of an apology for those who've listened to some of the recent podcasts. I thought we were going to get a couple more in before Evo hit us, but there were four big names on my list. I was going to try to get either Kiev or Kayane or both, however that goes, because of their MLG background, and then RTD, of course. He won CEO, but we have a great staff over at 8-Way Run, and they put up an interview for Kiev and Kayane post MLG, as well as D got a little interview with RTD. So there's only one person left on that list, who happens to be my guest for this episode, winner of East Coast Throwdown, Woahhzz. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Not too bad. So just out of curiosity, did I pronounce that right? Because I know it's kind of spelled funky. But
yeah, that's right. It's Woahhzz.
Okay.
So.
I just want to make sure it's not like Woahhzz or something like that.
I get that a lot too, yeah.
People literally come up to you and go, Woahhzz, what's up?
Yeah, I get that a lot. They're like, Woahhzz! And I'm like, oh, hi.
That's hilarious, because like I would never. That's like an extreme pronunciation, So I would never go that as my first guess, but that's funny. So you won ECT, and are you going to Evo as well?
Yes, I'm going to Evo thanks to the help of Partisan and Kane.
Excellent.
And great one as well. So
excellent. That should makes for some great questions, so I don't have to skip over the Evo stuff. So
right.
Let's talk about you first before we start getting into the event stuff. So just for those who may not know who you are, or maybe they just heard you from ECT or MLG or some of the recent stuff, kind of give us a little bit of background. Like, where did you start? Have you always been? To be honest, are you Philly? I can't actually remember.
Oh yeah, I'm from Philly.
Philly, yeah, that's what I thought. So have you always been Philly, or have you moved around a little bit? Like, give us a little background. What game did you start with, and all that good stuff.
Okay. My first game was actually Naruto GNT4. I mean, I played with a group of friends down at 8th and Chestnut around my area, and it was just a casual thing, but I was always like the best in my group, and I was playing that pretty competitively. But it's not a really good game, but still.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that game, because I didn't realize like any other big name players played it, but I'm guessing that you probably know Rob from Chicago.
Oh no. I never went like across states with it. I just played within my group. They were pretty good, and so we played a lot.
Yeah, because I know that they had their big event is actually down in Florida called Willvolution.
Yeah. I used to watch the videos. Yeah.
Obviously a little play
good.
on words, but
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, so you did the Naruto thing, and then what was next?
I played a little bit of Smash Brothers, but Super Smash Brothers Melee, and I got into that. Then I slowly played Soul Calibur 4 when it first came out. So I got into that. From Super Smash Brothers Melee to Soul Calibur 4, and that's when I first started playing.
So as far as like really hardcore competitive stuff goes, it's pretty much just been Calibur then for you?
Yeah. I went to my first tournament in Soul Calibur. I entered my first tournament as Soul Calibur 4. So.
Nice. And then, so I presume then that you've always been Philly.
Yeah. I always lived in Philly. So.
Excellent. So you are an alpha player, and for the most part, he's a relatively new character. He's got some stuff from other characters, but everybody is pretty much of the consensus that alpha pretty much the hardest character to play.
Right.
Because you have to be really, really on fire and on point with those juggles and those just frames. So what made you pick him?
Well, by the end of Soul Calibur 4, in Soul Calibur 4, my main was Ivy, and I fell out of love with Ivy, and I went to Setsuka, which is pretty much the alpha pad is the copy, the mimic of Setsuka, of her style, and I really liked her, so I was like, in the next Soul Calibur iteration, I'm gonna play this style. And it turned out to be Alpha Pet. Like, there was no other reason other than that besides I liked her. Yeah. So
So the whole, the technical aspect of him, does that, are you kind of neutral on it, or did it appeal to you, or did it, was it a negative, but you were like, I don't care, I still like the character, I'm going to deal with it, or how did that work?
as for me, execution is something you can practice, and you'll get it eventually if you find a technique for it. And it didn't bother me too much. It's just something I just know I had to practice to get it down. So
Gotcha. So for you, it wasn't really like, oh my God, I love high execution characters. You just kind of like, I like this character.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just get used to it.
I was actually I liked the character Setsuka more, but then they replaced her, so I don't know how I felt about that when I first got the game. I was like, I got this new guy who's a mimic of her,
So
and
you just
I
got to
like
go with
Setsuka.
it.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this sucks,
Yeah.
but oh well.
Oh well, you'll just deal. That's it. Well, I know, Heaton, when we had him on, he was
Right.
kind of talking about that a little bit, where any character can win. You just got to put the time in. So
Yeah, yeah,
as long as you get in that practice mode and get that stuff going, it's all
right.
good. So
Yeah.
so let's talk about ECT then a little bit.
All right.
You have been to events since ECT, right? I mean, you were at MLG, I believe.
Yeah, I was at the one of the MLGs.
Well, was
Um,
it the old one or the recent one or the
no, it was the older one. I think it was
Ohio?
yeah, Ohio.
Okay, gotcha. And that was the first one that Kiev won, correct?
Yes, let's
Okay.
keep on that one.
So kind of give us a little bit of a background, I guess, on ECT. First and foremost, like, how was the event itself? Like, for those of us who didn't go or didn't see any of the stream, like, do you think the venue was big enough? Did you like it? How was the atmosphere?
Yeah, I thought the venue was great. Everything was run well. Everything was run on time. It was big. A lot of it was a lot of stations. You could sit down and play, and yeah, I thought it was run really well. It was nice and cool. It didn't smell or anything. So
Well, that's always a good thing for
yeah,
gamers. Was it at like a hotel, or did they have like a shop or something they did it at?
it was at a hotel. I forgot which one. I don't really pay attention
Oh no,
too much over. Yeah,
that that's okay. And I take it they had like really big ballrooms for you
yeah,
guys.
yeah. It was a really big bar room.
Nice.
Um,
Okay, well, you said that they had a bunch of stations then, so I guess let's talk about some caliber and the tournament itself. So obviously you won, so it was a good day for you. But
yeah.
aside from that, like, how did you feel like the competition that went out? Like, were there any maybe big names or notable players that I don't know, maybe people aren't talking about that you were there and you saw and you're like, people need to watch out for this person.
Yeah, one of the most upcoming players was Gamer Aver Media Gamer B, I believe. He's a Street Fighter player, I think, from Taiwan, and he's only been playing the game for about. He told me he was playing for 2 months, and he was actually really good for 2 months. Like he had a really strong grasp of like the basic element of the game, and if he knew how to punish me correctly, I think I might have had a run for my money. But
So
they're
is he actually
they're
from, like, he came over from Taiwan, or like
yeah,
he's
yeah, he's
from?
sponsored. Yeah, he's sponsored, so they fly him from Taiwan to America from
Oh
time to
wow,
time. Yeah, so he's a big Street Fighter player, and I think he plays what's that game? Um,
what's that game?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Uh,
Like Marvel or something, or
no. Was it? It wasn't Virtual Fighter. I
KOF?
forgot.
Maybe King of Fighters?
No, I forgot. It's the downloadable one from PS3.
Ooh, that one I don't know. Skullgirls.
No. It's 3D game. 3D game.
Oh,
I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now. But
a downloadable game. Wow.
is it Virtual Fighter? I think it's Virtual Fighter.
I don't know. I didn't realize Virtua Fighter was downloadable. Maybe it
Wait,
is.
was it?
I don't know. I haven't picked
Is
it
it?
up.
I don't know. I don't play the game, but
All right, that's okay. So we got Gamer B.
okay.
Anybody else of like who really struck a chord with?
There was some people from my casual group like Zero Effect who is pretty good, and there's JJJ. There's a surprising uh, Raphael player named Young Fox who showed up everybody. There's Thermidor who are pretty good. Who's pretty good,
Nice.
and who else is there? Oh, there was Sonic Fox, the little 12-year-old that came in with third at Winter Brawl, the very first Soul Calibur 5 tournament.
Oh wow, how did he do?
Yeah. I forgot. I wasn't sure. I actually had to play him over this past weekend at bar battles.
Oh, nice. Is he
Yeah.
still? I mean, is he good? Is he getting better? How does?
Yeah, he's getting better. It was what is it? He came in third this time with Kayane in second. So
At game battles?
yeah, she's actually here. She went to eat something with like I'm at a gathering right now. So
And
like I'm with
are you still in Philly right now, or did you guys already
yeah
get in
yeah.
Vegas?
Kayane is in Philly right now, so she's hanging out with us.
Oh, are you guys like all flying out together, or?
No. She's just visiting over here. I guess it's a stop for her. I'm not sure. I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
ask her. Yeah.
That's well, I'm gonna have to reach out to her because that's like crazy. I didn't know she was just kind of bopping
Oh, hang.
around. Like,
She's around here. When she gets back, I'll let her get in touch with you.
sweet, sweet. That's awesome. Making connections in the middle of the podcast. That's awesome. Okay, so let's I guess look into the crystal ball then, since we kind of opened that door. So everyone, it sounds like a bunch of you guys are going out to Evo, and you're going to do that thing. And I actually, before we even started the recording, you said that you were watching some matches between you and Kayane, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I was watching a few days ago, like yesterday's tournament.
So it sounds like you're getting ready, you're doing your training mode stuff, you're trying to, like cram, so to speak, last minute.
Yeah.
So going into Evo then, what is your biggest concern? Because I have a feeling you've already looked at your pools, so you kind of know who's in there.
My pool is pretty tough. Like I'm in pool B, so a lot of like not until quarterfinals, but by the time quarterfinals come, it's a lot of scary people in pool B. Like there's a lot of there's Key in pool B. There's Kura from Korea, who I admired in SoCal before. There's No Face Killer. There's Hawkeye. There's a lot of deadly people. So I'm kind of
Yeah, absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, you just named, arguably what most people argue as the number one, number two,
Yeah.
in there. So, okay, so here's a kind of a big grand question for you then. What, obviously nobody wants to go 0-2 once they hit Evo, but like, what is your biggest like fear, or what's your biggest concern going into the tournament? Like, are there any like maybe characters that you're like, oh my god, I hope I don't find or run into this random person who knows how to
Viola.
Viola.
Viola is one of the scariest things in the world.
I presume, well, other than Kiev, I presume that you're not in the same pool as Lost Providence. So.
Oh no, I think Lost Providence is in pool C. I think his pool is deadly too. There's Belial and Malik in this pool. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's actually I'm a little scared of the Japanese players who's coming over and the Singaporeans players who's coming over. They look pretty solid when I was watching them. So
what all are you doing then? What are you just watching like anything and everything, or how are?
Oh no, I just scroll through, watch some matches, and then like, oh okay. But you really don't know how they really play until you play them, because you could watch a video and like they could look amazing, but the person they're playing could be bad, or they could look really bad, but the person they're playing is really good and know how they play. So you can't really judge off videos, in my opinion.
Nice. So then what sorts of things then are you looking for when you watch vids? You just watch them just to I didn't know you could do that sort of thing, or
entertainment is one, and just to see where to gauge like what level everyone is at, or where I should be as well. Just to see around any kind of traps I should be looking for, and that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. So it's more of a knowledge thing, not like, oh, I need to study this particular person.
Right.
Gotcha. So for Evo, what are your plans then? Are you getting there like that day, the 6th, on Friday, or are you planning on getting in maybe a day or two early?
I'm getting there Thursday around 6. So.
When is your pool an early morning pool?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
I didn't look too much into it.
Well,
I was gonna worry about that. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say everyone who wants to see you, I guess they'll have to look up the schedule and see when it's on. But well, exciting stuff there for sure. Out of curiosity, have they since you are a qualifier winner, have they like told you, hey, you're guaranteed to be on the stream at this time or anything like that?
Not that I know of. I didn't get any kind of message like that. No, so
I would imagine that you probably would. I mean, if you're gonna market an event and you're gonna stream something, you want your top seeds on the stream.
right,
But
right.
but yeah, sometimes people plan that out a little bit ahead of time, but it looks like they're they're just gonna wing it. But I know. I mean, who knows how it's gonna be? I mean, from the last time I checked, I mean they broke their attendance record again for like the
Right, right.
fucking 10th straight year or something, whatever it is. So I know that there's a lot of people there. And last year, for those who didn't go, and hopefully even if you did, you didn't run into this, but they did have a judge shortage last year. So there were some pools that got held up a little bit because of that. So hopefully they have enough help this time around. I mean, if I were them, I'd probably be throwing around a little money to get some extra help. But so, well, hopefully we can see you on the stream then. If nothing else, everyone can. You said Pool B, right?
Yes, I'm in Pool B.
Okay, so everyone can look up that time schedule and see Pool B. So before we kind of move on from the Evo thing, any like last comments or anything about Evo that maybe everyone isn't talking enough about that you wanted to kind of get out there and mention?
Not really. No, I don't.
That's okay. I wasn't
a-
expecting it. I was just throwing it out there because sometimes people are like, "Oh man, you didn't hear," you know.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about Evo is like you don't play on Saturday. You just play on Friday morning. So I guess we have Saturday to ourselves, and then Sunday is grand finals, I guess, or the final top 8 or 16 or whatever they're doing.
So they're running everything up until finals for Sunday on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why I believe it's happening.
Oh well, I guess if you get to that final day on Sunday, at least you have a full day to kind of practice.
Yeah.
Step it up. Are you getting your own room, or are you like crashing with a bunch of your local guys, or?
I'm crashing with a group of friends, I guess. So
Did you guys find a good deal, or are you staying at Caesar's Palace and like throwing all the cash money everywhere?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't the one that got the room or anything. So
what's gonna happen? You're like gonna get in. You'll be like, okay, tell me where to go.
Yeah, something like that. But no, I have a group of friends that say I could stay in their room, but I didn't ask them about the details. So
you might want to get on that so you know where to go.
I'm a poor college student, so I don't make those kind of plans that involves.
Well, I remember my first Evo in Vegas was actually my first time in Vegas ever, and there were like 10, 11 players who crashed in the same room as us, and pretty much I just threw like $20, $40 at somebody and did the exact same thing. And just tell me where to be, and
yeah, because like Jaxo, there's people like Jaxo who says, hey, you can stay in my room, $40 a night. You know, this sounds like a good deal. So maybe over there.
It's kind of something that I don't see quite as often anymore. Like I don't really know what the reason for it is, because like when the first couple Evos I went to, I don't know if maybe the community was just like so niche and so underground or whatever, but everybody was like, here's a thread, here's everyone who's getting rooms, it's going to be this price, just hit me up if you want it. So like everyone was, I don't even know, like they're outsourcing their own rooms, but like now people are a lot more reluctant to do that. Like I don't know if everyone just knows each other so much that they already know who's going to want to crash with them, but you don't really see those threads much anymore. Like they're still out there, don't get me wrong, but like it was definitely. It was a lot more prevalent back in the day. But anyway, okay, so we'll kind of move on from the Evo thing. Obviously, best of luck once you go out there. And is this your first time in Vegas?
Yes, it'll be my first time in Vegas. I'm very excited.
Are you over 21?
Yes, I'm. Okay. I am 21.
Okay, excellent. So you can actually enjoy Vegas the way it's meant to be enjoyed. Excellent. Well, best of luck again, and hopefully you enjoy Vegas. I have a yearly trip just to go out there because I love the place. But gotta love Sin City. But enough of that. People want to hear about Caliber stuff, so let's do that. So so you're using Alpha. You're preparing for Evo, obviously. Now it sounds kind of. You said you were at a friend's house, so is that what's going on in the background? You guys are just like playing, trying to practice up.
Oh yeah. There's my the group I usually play with, the Philly crew, and we play every Saturday or so. We have sessions every Saturday, and sometimes we get special guests that comes by, like
Like Keanu.
KDZ, yeah, like Kayane. So
So
Biblis is here, Malice, JJJ, Zero Effect, Sporko. Sporko's the host. So.
so the Saturday thing, that's obviously that's not the bar battles. How often do the bar battles happen?
There's only been 2 of them so far, and I've been to both. So it's I think it's a recent thing. Like they just got the place as a venue, and I'm not sure how often it happens.
Gotcha.
So
So I guess I'm going to ask you the same sorts of questions that I've asked our previous guests, because everybody really likes to know this stuff. But when you're practicing, for Caliber, you're trying to get better. You're trying to cram or whatever, get prepared for the big event. Like Evo that's coming up. Obviously playing against people is a huge part of it, and getting better, and just messing with techniques and trying to get traps down and being better in that sort of way. But when you're preparing, that's not always an option. Some people do the online stuff, like Partisan, Heat, and those guys are online warriors. Now, what is your kind of approach to practicing and toning up your game and getting better? I mean, do you spend a lot of time, in practice mode, in the lab trying to figure stuff out, or how do you usually approach that?
like I thought I spent a lot of time in the lab, but when I look at or when I read some other people's posts about how much time they spend in training mode, I I don't compare. It's like I saw Bilal's status somewhere that he has 450 hours in training mode. I don't even have 450 hours in the game, so he has 450 hours alone in training mode. So this kind of intense.
Yeah,
For me,
intense.
I have about 80 hours, and I've seen my friends have around 120 hours. So so I wouldn't say I'm a big training mode kind of person. I go online and I play with my friends, and like if something goes wrong and there's some kind of strategy that I can't get over, like I'm not sure how to deal with, then I'll go in training mode and I'll see what I can do. But aside from that, I watch videos and like, oh, this could be stopped if this person did this situation, but then just to see.
So even if it's online, you definitely prefer playing real matches as opposed to like going to practice for a while.
Right, right.
Gotcha.
I use training mode mostly to practice my combo, make sure I'm still sharp.
Okay, I
can
was
still do it.
actually just going to ask about that because Alpha, he's pretty heavy intensive on the execution. So,
Right.
so what do you recommend to people who play Alpha? Did it obviously going to practice combos and stuff that helps, but
Right.
did you feel like playing matches and trying to do that stuff in matches helped more than
Oh
the
yeah.
practice match?
Oh, definitely. I think they should try to be able to do the combo first consistently, then go in a match and then do it. And every day, if you can, spend about half an hour doing a combo. Um, and make sure you have it down, and make sure you can still do it after the next day. And make sure you be able to do it in battle. Don't. Sorry, that's malice.
No, that's okay. We've had Peanut Gallery before, so we're completely used to it. But it's hype. Everyone's trying to get ready for Evo and whatnot, so
All right.
no big deal for that.
Right.
So okay, so obviously getting matches with players and stuff. Now, from the sounds of it, you are very very much a proponent of online. Like I take it you think it's very viable. It's very good.
Right. I've been an online player since SoulCast 4. It's where I learned from. And I guess I could say I was pretty successful in 4. I won a lot of majors.
Yeah, and I've
But,
heard that nothing but bad things about the online play for 4. So,
oh yeah, online for 4 was not the most beautiful thing.
so okay. Well, with that, let's see other questions about the game. Okay, well, when you're playing in practice or against a person, what combos for you for Alpha? Those are obviously going to be important, but what sorts of things are you focusing on when you're playing against people? Like, are you aiming at defense first? Like, I need to be able to see all these traps, or are you like, okay, I'm just going to run setup heavy and I'm just going to try to bulldog you?
It depends on my opponent, really. If they're if I really respect the player, I would not rush him down unless I think his defense is weak. Uh, but if he has a good sense of like self, you know, space, like he controls his own space well, I'll respect him and I'll play the spacing game. And as a plat, I focus on two things usually when I'm playing defensive. I focus on punishing and I focus on whiff punishing. So because for alpha pad, if you do something punishable, I get more considerably a lot of damage for a punish. So I usually just sit around, bait stuff out.
So you're just all about punishing then. You're just like, I'm going to make you do something and then hurt you.
Yeah. Unless they're turtling themselves, then I have to start something. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll be a little offensive here.
Gotcha.
But,
So I guess my question with that sort of thing, because it's very 50-50 with people when they're playing casual matches. Some people are more focused on, the technical aspects of their game. They want to make sure that they can see stuff or that they can do stuff,
right.
and that sort of thing. Whereas other people, they're trying to win. They're trying to go 100% and make sure that everything that they're doing in casual play is the exact same as they would play in tournament. Is that how you look at it, or are you just trying to get better in certain aspects of your game as opposed to going full strength the whole time?
I do both at the same time. Like I try to win, but like when something happens during a match, and like I know I can just guard between the string. I have to do it. It's like I'll play the match. I'll play it like I normally would, and then I'll look out for the certain things that I should be able to just guard, and I'll try to do it in the real match. I'll go in training mode first and see if I can do it in training mode, and then I'll go into the match and look out for those things while I'm playing. But I'm still trying to win at the same time.
Gotcha. So the win is it has at least a little bit of an importance to you when you're playing casuals.
Right.
Gotcha. Because I know that like some players, they're the complete opposite. They're like, I'm going to sandbag the shit out of everybody.
Oh no, well I don't. If I do sandbag, I don't sandbag on purpose. It's just how I feel at that time. It's like, oh, I don't feel like playing all serious. I just play some casuals.
Gotcha. So for new players out there, then trying to increase their game and level up and whatnot, how would you approach, like, what was the first maybe piece or two of advice that you would give
them? If they want to play APAT,
yeah, we can do APAT, or if there's just something you can think of generally speaking for the game.
Okay. As for APAT, I suggest using a fight pad. So they can do the JF twister more easily because the buttons are laying horizontally more than 45 degrees angle from like square to triangle, instead of, and on the fight pad it's more like you just slide your fingers across. So I've been getting a lot of questions for APAT actually, like, oh, how do you do these just frames so consistently? And I said I use this specific pad that's really helpful to me. So, but as for the game in general, I would say try to look at what's happening in the match overall rather than specific details. Like he's outspacing me, it's like I have to do something to get in, or he's getting away with doing certain things, and I should make notice of him always doing this after this move, versus pick up on habits, and then try to go on from there, I guess.
Gotcha. So you're more of if you're a beginner, you start off thinking about the big strategy rather than the specific tactics first. Right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just focus on what's happening as a whole. Like, why do I keep getting hit? Or like what's happening in this situation, instead of being like, oh, this person is doing this combo in this tech trap. It's not a good way to start off. It's too detailed. You narrow that down later on. But
it's interesting that you bring up the the just frames and stuff with alpha that you've been getting a lot of questions on, because that's like the one thing that, and anytime I hear anything about you, everyone's like, man, he is on point with those just frames. Like, he's just so consistent, which a lot of people, when the game first came out, I mean, everyone knew that alpha was strong. I mean, you could just tell that he was strong, but it was hard to be consistent with that stuff. So there were a lot of people who were like, well, he's tops on paper, but we have yet to see somebody who can really put that into practice. So do you think that that you kind of hit that point that you've hit that stride and you are now being able to show everyone, okay, this is how strong this character can really be?
I can't say that I'm the best I could be with him at this point, and I mean, and I don't think I've reached my full potential with him yet because there's still some things that I can't punish on reaction, and that I'm not ready for. Like he has a 12 frame twister or 12 frame move that as a punish, and it does lots of damage. But the thing is, I don't think anybody can like punish a 12 frame negative 12 move consistently throughout the game. And like if you miss the punish, he takes big damage back. So I guess that's where the paper thing come in because like the thing is people say, oh, he's top tier because he could do this, but he can. But if you miss it in the real game, you could lose half your life for just missing that one punish. So is it really worth it, kind of thing?
Gotcha. So do you, as far as like you play him and everything, do you think, I mean, you said that, a potential for you, there's potential to get better. Do you think you'll ever actually hit that point where you're so consistent with the 12 frame, just frame or punish and stuff and other stuff of that, technical, ability?
Yeah, maybe if I keep working on it, maybe in a year or so. But that's a while away. Yeah, so it's still a long way to go.
Yeah, well, hopefully you have enough now, right? To just get you through. So where, I guess along those same lines, where do you think he is then? Like, assuming that you can't do, like you can do most things consistently, but not everything. Do you think he's, right there at the top, or do you think he's good enough and it's just, the player that's doing most of it?
Oh, he's definitely in the top. I think he's definitely top 5 somewhere along up there. Because it's just because his damage output is so high, and it's almost kind of unfair. Like he has some of the best throws in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the best launchers in the game. So he's definitely up there. I think. Like just from grabs and that one mid alone, 3-3B.
Yeah.
And so.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Well, I actually think I've exhausted my questions for Caliber at least. And before we move on from Caliber and kind of wrap up the interview and whatnot, are there any like last comments or anything about Caliber that whether it be about Alpha or just the game in general that that maybe you want to let people know about, because like I guess I haven't even asked this question. I mean, do you like the game? Do you think is it like your creme de la creme thus far, or did you like 4 more maybe?
I like 4 more personally because I guess I was more successful in 4. But as a 5, I think it's a little. But there's some things that is easily abusable, and that is. But I guess everyone's a little strong in a way. Like every character has their own thing going for them, so maybe it's balanced in that regard. But
so kind of from the sound of your tone, I kind of get this mixed feeling. Are you like very neutral on it right now, or do you? I don't know. Maybe do you not like it and you're just playing it just because you're good at it, or how are you? How do you see it?
I enjoy it most of the time, but there's sometimes where I get angry at the game. Like, why can't this character do this and get away? It's kind of that feeling.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that because kind of that's a really good segue into our last little segment here that we have on the podcast. It's pretty much a segment of salt, for lack of a better term, phrase, title. So what everyone wants to know, I mean, you just said that, the game makes you angry a little bit. So I want to know what makes Woahhzz really, really mad. Like what would make you run into a room, pick up a coffee table and just throw it across the room? Like I want to know what makes you really upset. And it doesn't have to be gaming related if you don't want to. If you want to take it somewhere out in the real world, I'm cool with that. But I want something. I want something that just makes you angry.
Oh, something unique's playstyle. That makes me pretty angry. I'm just kidding. He's a cool guy. Though he does make me rage sometimes. But anyway, what makes me angry is what really makes me angry. Not much really. It's just family. when my sisters stress me out a lot about like they expect a lot from me and
Oh wow.
from school life, life in general.
Oh, that
So
external pressure. Oh no.
yeah, it's like when they yell at me, it hits the spot and it makes me pretty angry. Like I try so hard sometimes and they just look at me as I'm useless. But anyway,
You were like, I will crush this can against my head
right?
if you
Like
don't go away.
I'm trying to go to med school. I'm working hard, and then they still degrade me. Anyway,
That's
they,
so harsh.
maybe they're just trying to push me a bit, but
Oh,
so
that's
sometimes it's pretty rough.
well. That's best of luck to you. I actually know that you are not the only gamer that's going to med school or has gone to med school. We actually I know that there's Noodles. He didn't go to med school, but he's a fucking scientist. I mean, the guy is like professor now, so he's crazy. He's smart. I know that there's some Cali players. I know at least one off the top of my head who's a doctor. I think he's a chiropractor, if I believe. So
wow.
I don't know if if you're in that pool where like you don't think chiropractic is like a real medicine or anything like that.
I have no judgment on that. It's their own field, mind my own business.
Well, that is pretty much it for me then for all my stuff. So I do like to kind of give you a little open forum if you have any shout outs or if you have like I don't know, any subject or topic that you really want to chat about that maybe people aren't discussing. You're more than welcome to do that. So I will give you the forum now, sir. If you have any last comments before we call it a day.
Yeah, I guess I'll give a shout out to the Philly crew,
Everyone that we can hear in the background.
everyone that you guys can hear. Shout out to Chicago because they're always there for me. They look out for me. Shout out to the people who sponsored me to Evil because I wouldn't have made it without them. Like Partisan, Kane, Great One, Honer. They all really came through for me and helped me get to Evil, and I really appreciate that.
Is that it?
I really appreciate this community as well, even though we're small and we stay together. A-Wave Run, they
I mean,
dedicated players.
Yeah, and we're stepping it up a little bit. I mean, Evo, this is the first year I believe that they're actually doing like a nonprofit sort of thing because they're doing that big that college donation scholarship thing. So.
Right.
I was really surprised to see that because I know Evo's big, but I wasn't. I was not seeing charity in their future anytime soon. So, so it's nice to see that they're doing that. So, well, and anything else? Anybody else? That's
there's a RTD, ATL crew, so the people I play with from ATL. I'll give a shout out to them, the online players, and that's about all.
All right. Well, that was a good list. lots of people got on that. No, that's okay. I've had I've had people go on and on and on with shout outs, so that's nothing. But otherwise, that's really all that I have. So thank you very much for coming on to the podcast. Obviously, best of luck at Evo. We hope to see you on the stream and hopefully see you repping that Alpha P. For everyone who's listening, thank you for listening. This is, like I said, the last episode that we'll get in before Evo actually happens. So definitely tune in for that. It is free, not for the HD, but it doesn't cost you anything to stream or watch the stream. So definitely hit that up because it's going to be the biggest stage in the world. So you got to keep that in mind. As for a little look into the crystal ball, after Evo, we will start up. We'll keep doing the podcast and stuff. We might take a little bit of a break, except maybe try to get the winner of Evo on the podcast. But aside from that, we'll probably take a little bit of a break, and then once we start it up again, we'll start the character-specific stuff. I know everybody's been kind of excited for that, so we'll get that going. But other than that, again, thank you very much, Woahhzz, for coming on the podcast. I know everyone out there, they're probably excited to hear from you and hear your voice. So other than that, once again, good luck. Definitely enjoy Vegas while you're there, especially since you're 21. You have to hit that up. But
Yeah.
but otherwise,
Go some
thanks everyone for listening, and we will catch you again hopefully soon if we can get the Evo winner on. But we'll be back. But if you don't see us for a while, don't panic. I promise we'll continue on going. But other than that, thanks to everyone for listening, and we will catch you next time.